say action? You didn't say action?
Action.
Welcome everybody. This is our headdress class, our classic headdress class. It's a real classic for us. Anyway, today we're going to learn to make headdresses. The emphasis is a little bit on Mardi Gras because we have a bunch of feathers, and here remainders our classes are built around the things that we have. But I have a lot of other things for you to choose from as well. So I just want to say a little bit about the culture of headdresses and that sort of thing. Who knows where headdresses originated? Does anyone have a clue? Have any idea? Well, it's a trick question because they exist in every culture. So we don't know where they started, but every culture has their own idea of headdresses. They are named berettas, turbans, bonnets, helmets, hoods, a busby, a crown, or a cap. Those are just some names for headdresses in cultures other than our own. And the significance is that sort of, they usually have something to do with an opulence or something that is showing off something or some sort of royalty. In the case of the Native American headdress, it represents bravery and strength. So the bigger the headdress, the braver you are. So that's a little bit about how they denote stature or significance of people, and that's sort of why people wear headdresses. But then we think of somewhere like Brazil, where they wear them, to be extremely opulent and very big and beautiful. And there are some good examples that I've printed out here on your papers of different types of headdress that you can see, different styles, and also sort of the base, a different way of making the bases. This one I think is really, really cool. Yeah, it's good. And all made of flowers. So it gives you a little bit of information about the history of the headdress. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a base. So you're going to build off of a base. So as you can see in the example, the base was this large space helmet.
So fantastic.
Thank you. It has a front and a back. You can look at the front and the back. The back is, I like the back more than the front. I think the back is sort of better than the front. So we have headdresses like this. But then we also have headdresses like this, which I also made. And this is sort of a bit more, I think maybe a bit more achievable today. And also something that is sort of prettier. This is sort of crazy and opulent. These are pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to make this base first. And there are 3 different kinds that you can make. Actually 4 if you want to attempt that, but I think. And then you'll just start attaching things to it, okay? So you can look at these anytime you want. I can pass them around, you can come up and look at them, but let's get started on the base. So first of all, is everyone plugged in their hot glue gun? Okay, all right. So this is one kind of base of a headdress. I got jam. Okay. This is one type of base that you can use on a headdress. And all of these are just bent wire. This is literally just some wire that they bent. This one happens to be covered with felt. And the idea, yes, I'm gonna model them for you, is that it fits on your head like that, and then you'll start building up from here. There's one like that, you can pass that around.
So do you guys have these?
We're gonna make these.
Good, make them.
We're gonna make them out of wire.
Got it.
So here's another type. It's a little bit round. Again, it fits over the top. And all of this is just bent wire. You can see when you pass it around that it's just like wire that gets bent into this shape so that it will sit on your head. The one that I used for this one is this type of base. And again, it just sits, goes on your head, sits like that. The thing is, because I don't have any here, I like to cover them with felt after I make them, which is what we did here. You can pass that around. And you can see that I covered it in felt, and that makes it a little bit more sturdy, and it makes it a little bit more protective. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I think it makes it, for me at least, a little bit easier. So yeah, so this is the one I'm going to show you how to make, and then we can also work on these if you choose, because it's the same principle. It's just bending the wire in a different way. Like in this one, you would make this circle, and then you would take wire around the sides, like weaving it in and out to make this shape. Same with this, it's a basic rectangle, and then you weave in and out of it. So this is the basic one. So again, you see it goes on like that, fits like that. And in fact, this one, oh, somebody else has got it. That one should fit me as well, because I made it.
Oh, can you put
a
it
couple
on to
years
show
ago.
us how it
Yeah, for sure.
ends up looking? Yeah.
So see, it's kind of like this kind of goes around the back of your head.
Oh,
So it fits just like that.
Huzzah.
Huzzah, huzzah indeed. So see, like this is the flat part where you will build, and then this is the part that keeps it sort of strapped on. In the same way that these do. These are the parts that keep it strapped on, and this is the part you build on. So they're all very similar. Oh, this one's pretty comfortable with the felt. It really is like much better to wear than sort of the others. And then of course, if you want to go crazy, there are some shapes over there that mirror this. And most of the things that I used in this are also over there. If you want to make something big and large, I think that's a great idea. You are welcome to make whatever you want. I will be here to help, and we'll get it done, and we have lots of time. So with that, let me show you how to make this base. So you need a piece of wire. The wire's right here, the wire snips are here. I guess I don't need my hat again for this. You need a piece of wire about this long. And what you're gonna do, bend the end a little bit so that you have a little hook. And then you're gonna measure it on your head. See? So I know that my head is roughly this shape. Probably is this shape. Now you want to bend this end as well, because you've got your first, where is that? Oh, this is the one I'm making. So you've got your first go around. Then you want to take it back across here. So I'm going to just twist it slightly, and then I'm going to bring it back across my head. Like that. And just bend it a little bit so that it will stay its shape. See, so essentially I've made this. I've essentially made this. Everybody see that? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And you want to then sort of attach it here just by twisting it together. And we have pliers if you'd rather use pliers to twist. That's easier for you. But you basically want to make this shape, which mine looks a little weird.
So it's sort of like a taco but without base.
It is so far like a, yeah, exactly. That's a really good way to think about it. It's a taco without a base. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
So see, that should, fingers crossed,
And
that should fit
how
on
long
my head.
was that wire, do you think?
Say that again?
How long is the wire? A yard, maybe?
I would say it is about this long.
Okay.
This is the official measurement
All
line.
right.
It's this. If you need this measurement, I will hold my fingers up again. No, I'd say not quite a yard. Probably, I guess maybe a yard, because you need a second piece as well to go around the back to make the little back piece. So you're gonna also need a little piece here. And I would say, you know, what's another thing that's easy to do is to just sort of measure on the back of your head. So like, this is what I do. Like, you know, I need about probably that much because I want to wrap it again. I'm going to wrap it and make it fit, and I'm going to cover it with tape. Oh gosh, Michael almost took your eye out.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Don't sue us, we don't have any money.
You're fine, don't worry about it.
All right. So yeah, so we've got that part. It is rudimentary, I agree with your thoughts that it looks rudimentary, but it's not going to matter because you're going to be covering it with stuff. You just want to make sure that it fits your head. So now this part you want to take and you just want to wrap it again around here because you're just sort of making a hinge. And you can cover it in tape, you can cover the ends in tape like I have here so that you know, it doesn't jab you in the head. And again, if you want to use pliers for this, I might need pliers. Anyway, so basically you're bringing it around and attaching it just like that. Just like that. And you're gonna wrap it all together, and then you've got this shape. And that's what fits on your head. So, like I said, you can take tape after that and wrap the ends, You can trim off these little sharp ends if you want. I would just wrap it in tape to make sure that it doesn't cut your head. That's, I think, the best way to go about it if you don't want to, you know, sort of get really fancy with it. And you don't have to be fancy because you're covering this. So then after that, you want to take all of this felt that I've cut up, and you just want to basically lay this piece in it. I'm just going to take this piece off right now because you want to lay this in it and just start sort of wrapping it around and gluing it together. Like you can wrap it in these ways and glue it down, wrap it inside. You just want to make sure that you get the wire covered. That's what you're really going for. And while you're doing it, I'll go around and make sure that you're getting it, because it's not difficult. And again, it doesn't have to be fancy or nice looking because you're gonna cover all this up. And for this part, I took just a strip of this and just wrapped it around. You don't have to do that either, if you know, depending on how much is gonna be showing, because this is gonna be in the back. So yeah, like the example, why do I keep losing my example? You see, like it wraps. This one doesn't quite fit me, but yeah, it goes that way. But you see, it's just gonna wrap around the back. So if you want to cover that up with felt, you can. You don't have to. But basically, this with the felt covering it is what your base is. That's what your base is, and that's where you're gonna start building from. So it'll be like this. Okay.
But the back piece is attached when you're doing that part.
Yeah, you're gonna glue these pieces on. You're gonna glue this down, so that's like this.
Okay.
And then you'll start attaching things to it. Do you wanna come over and see all the stuff, Robin? All the stuff we have. So we've got lots of stuff over here. You know, we've got lots of different types of flowers. We have these little weird flowers. We have pom-poms. Jewelry, I also use this on mine. You can use that. These are the bowls I was talking about before. So you can use this to build on as a headdress. You can even attach a strap to it if you need to. We can do a little hole in it. We've got lots and lots of options here. There are, like I said, pom-poms. There's all kinds of stuff here. These beautiful disco balls. And there's also jewelry over there. There's just a ton of stuff. One of the things I love to use is this stuff. There's a bunch of these. I use them when
Like, if they want to wire something instead of gluing, you know, they could wire stuff.
we have all the wire.
I mean, the thin wire.